What's up, everybody, and welcome. This is a very unique video, so listen up. If you know me, I like storylines and I like good strategy. And what I love about Age of Empires 2 is how there's so much depth of strategy, but also how the way the games can develop at times, especially on unique maps, there's an interesting storyline of pros and cons based on what the players have done or not done. This video, I'm going to show you two games because I found a legend. I'm still really investigating this player, but let me just show you my reaction when I got a game on Coastal Forest, a map that is very rarely played at this level, against Black Forest? Coastal Forest. The dashboard says Coastal Forest versus Black Forest? Excuse me? I'm playing against? What? I'm a little scared, man. I don't know who this guy is. So you got to understand, the majority of players are playing Arabia or Arena at a high level, and I realized this player must have been pretty solid elo because I was only in queue for 3 or 4 minutes. All right, so let's break it down. Here I am. I'm in the red on the left side playing as the Malians, and then on the right side we have the Portuguese for this Black Forest player I'd never heard of, and I was very scared, right? I didn't know his exact rank. I didn't know the situation, but I did know Portuguese was a force pick from him because I had selected Malians in the event that they didn't want to go random. And I felt like Malians could be really fun because Malians are just very flexible with their wood buildings being discounted. Now, I knew enough about Coastal Forest that when people pick this, because the players are always very close together, they oftentimes try and lame. And the spawns on the boars can be forward, your sheep can be forward, all that stuff. So you can see this unknown player, Black Forest over here. He's in the blue. He's getting loomed now. And he's thinking about sending a villager forward. So I brought in my first boar because I was just like, well, I don't know who this guy is. He's probably going to try and steal stuff, right? So it's definitely a good strategy on this map to try and steal resources. And from my perspective, I lose those 2 sheep. And I will upload my perspective from this game to the Extras channel. That link will be in the description. But anyways, I was probably like, oh boy, we've got a lamer. So I said, well, you know what? I'll just bring in board number 2. No problem. So I want to talk specifics about the map here, okay? So we talked about the boars. Don't lose the villager, please. Thank you. The wood is generally towards the north. It's this big, winding clump of wood. There are obviously other areas to take resources if you wish to. Golden stone generally spawns forward as well. So it could be like a good tower rush map or something like that. And then you have the coast on the sides. The problem with the coast is that it's just a little bit far away, so it takes a while for the fish investment to pay off. Now, I expected him to try and lane me. I expected him to be ridiculous with that. And currently, I'm just building up thinking I'm going to fish and adapt. Add fishing ships, go feudalage, and adapt. Here he is. He brings 1 villager to shoot my deer, so I cannot conveniently take the deer. The deer will slowly decay. Again, I don't know the player. I'm a little bit scared of what could happen here. I get the better of a micro engagement, though, with his scout being 1 hit weaker than mine. And I can't really do anything about this. Now, I just noticed here that he, as I'm going to attack his scout here, he is on my berries. So, Portuguese have been seen a lot more in Age of Empires 2 recently due to the fact that, I mean, their organ guns are very strong. But all their bonuses flow together so much nicer now because you get wood from berries. So look at him. So he's trying to deny my resources here in some way. And he's just walked forward. It's not really that far because we're next door neighbors. And he's taking my berries. And I'm just like, I did know that he was there. I could see the villagers on berries. I had never encountered this before. I wasn't sure. As I lose my scout now to make matters even worse, I wasn't really sure what to do about that. Because I was thinking on one hand, you know, if I engage here, he now has the hill. But on the other hand, if I don't engage, he takes my berry. So I was, my decision here was, let's just take what's left of our deer. I think that's an underrated decision when people do this. There's still hundreds of food here. Let's get a dock up and just give up the berries. But, you know, he doesn't have a single villager on wood, but he brings in wood from taking the berries. So he's got a lot on food right now is the point, okay? So, again, never seen before, at least by me, this strategy here. I knew players would try and steal resources. But I was scared because if someone beats me, especially a guy who's unknown, it just affects my reputation a little bit, my ego. But anyways, I'm looking at it and I'm just like, okay, let's see how it goes. And I'm thinking feudal age, right? And feudal age makes the most sense here. Now, what I wasn't aware of is if he was fishing. I also didn't realize in the moment that he had so many on berries, right? He's got 9 on berries here. And now he's going for a second mill. So he hasn't even gone for a lumber camp yet. The mad lad. Meanwhile, I've got my first fishing ship. Woo! Second fishing ship on the way. That takes some time, right? But I did place a mill here. Thankfully, I'm Malians, right? All these wood buildings are cheaper. So I'm just giving up my berries. No berries for me today. I'm on an all-fish diet. Fish and deer diet for now, and sheep, I guess. And I was a little concerned I wouldn't be able to make it to feudal, but I figured by the time I clicked up to feudal, I'd have enough food income from the fish, and I just put everything else on wood and gold.
Yes.
Anyways, still no lumber camp for him, and I'm not sure if you guys can pick up on it, but actually you shouldn't be able to pick up on this right now. But this guy's actually going to try Fast Castle. On a map where you're right next to each other, he's actually going to try Fast Castle. So at this point, I'm like, kind of like, get off my lawn, It really hurt that I didn't have my scout because I couldn't see where his resources were, what he was doing. There he goes. He clicks up at a similar time to me, right? So it really goes to show you how crazy this build order is from him. And there's a backstory because I do just talk with him later. There's also another game I'll show you in this video. So, like the video if you enjoy the extra effort, please. But, anyways, I'm looking to do some damage here against this guy. He stole my berries. And I didn't want to contest. I didn't want to send 8 of my villagers to fight 8 villagers here for what was left of a couple bushes. So, yeah, I have no scouting on where his resources are. He's taking the gold right now. Now, he doesn't have a barracks. So, he will need a blacksmith market. Those will be his 2 feudal age buildings to be able to go up to the next stage. For me, I'm on gold. I'm making a barracks, and I'm going to go archers. I didn't want to send more villagers to wood here because I would run past him and he would see me. And I thought it was likely he might want to drop a tower on me, and I didn't want to invite that pressure. So I figured, why not just take this wood line? And we do actually kill his scout, which is quite nice. Look at this guy. He's finished with my berries, and he's just going to head over to his other berries now. He's not in feudal age yet, and I'm just like, what in the world is this crap, man? I've got no berries to go to. So it's going to be really tough for me to go to feudal age now, right? Or sorry, not to feudal age, to castle age, because you normally need a lot on food. Normally you have a little bit extra berries, plus you have some fish. So he's just sending me away. I think, did he spot the archery range there? No, he didn't, but he saw the barracks, so he has to know something's coming. And he goes blacksmith market. And after running around the map with his vills, after delaying his lumber camp as long as he did, not even placing lumber here, look at the resources. I mean, it's super all in. It's super YOLO. But, it's a strategy that can really get the best of people, these YOLO things. Because if I don't do damage in time, or I don't do enough damage, a castle drop could obviously be terrifying for me. So I recognize this. And I'm looking for damage. Looking for anything I can see with my outposts. And I'm adding more fishing ships, which, again, very important here. I've got more eco units working. And I've got the wood upgrade. So long-term, things are going to be a little bit better for me. And here I am trying to micro. I'm not sure what that gate really did. I guess the villagers... It would have been better for me if the villagers went this way. So I just trapped myself because I'm amazing. And he's on his way to Castle Age now. And I don't have fletching yet, and I don't really have the numbers, but I'm trying. I'm trying my best. He's done a great job to pull the weak vills and go underneath the TC. He's still got goats, guys! He's still got goats. And because my scout is dead, I can't see where his stone or gold is, which is really the biggest problem for me right now. Because that's the go-to to deny when up against the Portuguese. At least currently. Apparently the new patch is going to nerf the organ guns. Some people are going to be like, no, not the organs. I think they do deserve a little bit of a nerf if the Portuguese are going to keep this berry bonus. And you're going to see, like, there's obvious examples as to why you could talk about the Fatorias, but that's not the conversation here, okay? The conversation is this strategy. And I find him and I'm like, oh no, he's got his whole life on stone right now. But also I'm like, he's got no army. So I should kill villagers and I just win the game, right? That's what you would think. I kill one villager, my first villager kill in this game so far. There's some weak ones over here. His eco's not looking pretty. And I'm sure if we look at resources collected as well, I'm pretty far ahead right now. And we can maybe get a glance at it. But he drops a tower after losing only one villager. So many villagers are weak. And I lose an archer, but I'm headed back over to the gold. And he makes it to Castle Age at a ripe 15 minutes, 21 seconds, guys. That is a really good uptime from him. So let's actually look at resources collected. Okay, so I've collected 1,300 more resources, right? Normally, at this stage of the game, that's just game over. I'm going for a market because I'm like, I need to rush Castle Age. I'm really scared he's going to drop a castle. I'm like, if he drops a castle, I want it to be as far away from me as possible. I lose 2 archers to the town center because I'm trying to do some things at home, right? You guys know how it is. It's really hard. And I'm camping as straggler trees. This economy should have no chance to have any say in this game. This is horrible. But what's he going to do? He's going to drop a castle there. So that's like, I mean, best case scenario for me would be drops his castle here, obviously. But like, this is still a good thing for me to see in this case because I just didn't want it anywhere near my base. Now, we're not going to tie this into the edit. But I played in Titans League Silver, trying to qualify for Titans League Gold. If you know, Titans League is an event that I put on with a promotion relegation system. And I lost a best of 3 in the second round to an all-in organ gun play. Very similar to this, on a map that had a little bit of water. And I did more right than I did in this game. I killed like 5 villagers. I had 8 fishing ships versus 0. Lost everything to organs. So I have experienced how ridiculous this all-in is, because it doesn't matter how good your economy is. If they can mass enough of these organs, there's anything that counters the organs is very expensive. Like monks, you need to spend 500 gold on redemption and then hope you get conversions. The organs do 16 damage, so you're unlikely to get conversions. I could go down the list. Anyways, my point is I experienced it enough to say, I've got to YOLO some stonewalls here. So I am on the way to Castle Age. I do have my fish boom. I'm also redocking. I preach this a lot. Add more docks so your fishing, your fish your fishing ships continue to find fish. And I've got outposts along here, okay? And as it stands, I've got only 7 archers, but I'm just like, I need to just hold. And my plan here was drop a defensive castle and behind the walls, and then I have better economy than him, and then I should win the game. And I absolutely should win the game. Like, if the game is fair, right, I should win. More resources collected. His whole eco is set up for organ guns. And he doesn't even have that much eco. So here he comes. So I've stonewalled the entire thing. Feeling good about life. I'm keeping an eye on things here. I think the outposts were good. I'm trying to check to see if he has docked, as I'm adding more fishing ships. Here he comes. It's been an all-in game from him, and he actually added 1 petard. Now, when you hit Castle Age, your walls get to 1,800 stone walls instead of 900. So if that petard would have hit a bit earlier, and that was actually really expensive for him because petard costs food, he would have actually been able to break in and then drop a castle right beyond my walls. I would die. And I've got no way to stop the organ guns. Even upgrading to crossbow and bodkin arrow wouldn't kill the organ guns. So thankfully, I'm completely walled, right? And he sees my castle, so he's probably like, crap, this is game over for me. Like, dropping a castle here isn't a good move. But hey, you know what we'll do? We're going to click beyond the walls, because you should always do that. And what do you know? There's a hole. Yeah, I loved this. I was so happy. I was like, oh, my life is so enjoyable. Oh, yes. Whew, what a great day this is. How fun is this? I love this game. He walks right into my base. So, okay, that's not good. I thought it was going to have more time. And so he strolls right into my base. I was thinking an extra layer of stone walls. Don't have the time for that. And he has had pretty good scouting on what is in here. So he's denying this gold. And if you were to drop a castle here, he would take out my TC and take out my gold. So he's just trying to find the right spot. He doesn't have any food eco. Also, meanwhile, I did sit underneath this tower with my archers. And here I'm trying to kill some villagers, which is extremely important because I'm getting castle dropped in my face. So I'm making Gabetto, it's a low HP, high attack unit. Not great against organs, but good at things like this. And basically, you know, my tip to you, if you're ever in a situation where they have an unkillable force, it's add economy away and try and pick your battles appropriately. And that's basically what I'm trying to do here. Microing with the Gabetto is very nice for us. Killed 2 organs because we couldn't fight these. And also had killed a few villagers there. But I mean, in the process, I also lost some vills. And my only town center is currently being shot down by a freaking castle. And now he's got 2 castles to produce organs. So it's kind of funny. You would think that this is denying my gold and taking out my TC. And obviously it is. But what has actually made this work for him is it gave him safe access to wood. And he's going to take wood here as well. This is so crazy, man. I haven't actually casted this game yet. I did breeze through it after I played it. But I didn't actually get to sit down and actually cast it. And it's even crazier than I remember. So, you know, I've got 6 Gabetto. They cost food and they also cost gold. So I now have no gold income. And I was trying to get stone income there, but now he's kind of sitting on it. We do have wood. And I have to pay a close attention to where his organs are at all times. I've got archers and Gabetto over here. They just killed a wolf together. Great teamwork, guys. And now I see this, and I'm just like, oh, God. Because he even has more range than me, right? The organ gun has 7 range. So it's more HP, right? Can be repaired with villagers. Does way more attack. Has more range, and costs only wood and gold. Whereas I need food. But I didn't think that monks would work. But, well, monks definitely would have been a mistake just because of lack of gold income. So we sacrifice. What do? We sacrifice. I knew I would lose this fight. I wanted to drop the castle here. I was going to be like, how do you like it, bro? And castle drop his town center. Here I'm trying my best to deny some things. Looks like we killed 2 villagers and we get a castle up. Meanwhile, my town center is going to go down. I have actually been able to get to this gold. I was being as sneaky as possible. And he now is thinking, okay, what else can I do? And realizes that I've had fish. So I've been sending this villager all the way around. I outposted here. I was looking for gold. Realized I couldn't take that gold. So I have 2 relics in that monastery. And now looping the whole way around here. I'm hoping to get to this gold. And I'm hoping to just continue to dock. Get the relics. Get anything for gold income. But I am now on this gold as well. He's got 16 organs. He has to find a way to kill a guy that doesn't have a town center. And the important thing from his perspective is he has to do continuous damage. If he takes out my 15 fishing ships, I've got 1 on food. But he also needs to deny my gold. There's a lot that he needs to do. And I'm still in a bit of an awkward position in different areas. Now, this was just so important. I think had he outposted here, denied this gold, I would have tougher times because here he comes with the organ guns. This is why I needed my castle to be in a better position. If my castle's in a better position, then the TC would definitely go down, but my villagers would all be protected, and you can tell I'm distracted. I think I'm distracted by this. I don't actually know. I do have 3 relics for the time being, though. Oh, here I am. Okay, Gabetto, let's go. I also wonder if it was worth it for me to get armor from the Gabettos, because they're such a weak unit anyways. He's going to find these vills. He's killed 21 eco from me. And he's going to take out my monastery, and he's taking out some of my fishing ships. But he's going to have no town center. And I haven't had a TC in a long time. But I'm like, screw it, because I have docks. And as I always preach to you guys, docks are economic buildings. And I need to get control of gold, but I have wood, and the food's going to be my fish. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Okay, let's look at it from his perspective. He's just massing organs. It's been increasingly difficult for him to find the spots, and here we go. Now I've got to mass a Gabetto. And, I mean, 20 Gabetto is no joke. And we get some nice kills there so I can get back over to this gold. That's what I want. Now, for him, he's kind of branched out a little bit. I'm trying to kill these organs with runners. And trying to use the front unit to run side to side there. So, because otherwise I think if I just patrol in, I might lose more. And his population hasn't really gone up. We're saving for rams here. Because again, I don't have a lot of gold income. But if we take out this castle from him, he's not going to have a lot left. He's still got lots of organs, but he's now very well aware that I have spread out. By the way, I just realized you could see my taskbar this entire time. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to re-record this, though, so whoops. Anyways, I didn't know what to do because his villagers started to take out the rams, so I said, whatever. Let's just sit underneath the castle. A play that was costly for me here, but his castle was so important to his success. If this castle's down, he can't produce army here, so, you know, I'm able to take the gold. And take this gold as well. And obviously, he lost a great deal of his economy. I've had no town center for a very long time. He now has no town center. He still has organs, right? He's still got some forces around. I had to run around with these villagers. My fishing ships have almost finished all the fish. Now my taskbar is gone. What's happening? Anyways, I don't know how long that was there. And I'm sure you guys can tell from this point, I have somehow held. And I would just need one more fight against his organ guns, and then that's pretty much... I mean, that's everything he's got, right? I still felt really worried in this scenario. Like, when I was in the game, I didn't feel like my population was high for a 35-minute game. So I didn't really know fully what was happening. But I did feel as though my eco was way better than his after that, obviously. And I felt like now at this point, like, if I wanted to mix in more monks, I could do so. I just need to branch out around the map. And, I mean, geez, I had to work hard. The fishing ships were honestly the key for me in this game. If I wouldn't have continued to advance around the coast, and I needed every single little bit of fish, I don't think I would have had as many chances. The nice thing about Gabetto, I guess it's similar to organ guns, even though it's different types of damage. They actually do a lot of damage against siege. So if you were to try... I mean, I guess organ guns are considered siege, but... if he were to try to ram push me as my point, I should be okay there. And I didn't want to lose my relics. I wanted a town center again. And I wanted to save my rams to push the other castle, but he was about to deny that. Now, I'm going to have... this game is going to end soon. And I had done some investigations with this guy, okay? I got to save the investigations for... the next video, because I want to make a legend video about this guy. I want you guys to tell me if you think it's worthy. Think he's worthy. But I do have another game for you, and I want to show you how this strategy performs on this map, where there's not a massive level difference. My freaking relics, man. He's super stubborn. But so am I, thankfully. So we're over here just picking away at his wood lines. I was now thinking, like, okay, what does he even have beyond these organ guns? He was having a really good time. Now, you know, I'm still being as safe as possible, possibly too safe, considering what we see from spectating. But I didn't want to throw the game by taking a bad engagement. And, again, I'm in the dark on some things. Like, maybe he's got a booming economy here or something. So I did actually want to take this fight. Here he's going to come with the organ guns. Here I find a couple organ guns. Bam. You know, obviously I had to produce a lot of them, but the Gabettos were actually pretty clutch this game. They were actually really solid. And he's down to 21 population. I think this is where I ask him what his pop is. I think I'm going to go repair that because I want my relic again. Pretty sure this is where I ask him where his pop is, and then he ends up resigning. I'm going to have to add a TC in the north of the map. Like, what? What in the world? Okay, let's fast forward here because I have another game to show you. Yeah, I say pop. He says 22, and you. I say 70. And at this point, he calls the GG. Because I had realized at that point, okay, like, what's going on here, bud? Okay, so I asked him, like, hey, who are you, right? Because if I encounter someone new, particularly like the name Black Forest and Coastal Forest, I always think that maybe they're known as another player, right? Because 2K Plus, there's only a couple hundred players. Maybe it's like 500 players these days, but there can be a lot of repeat accounts. And I was only in queue for about 3 or 4 minutes, which indicates they're like 2,100 or something, which is really good. And he told me, you don't know me. I used to be 1,600 elo. And he mentioned a video I actually had covered of him, or a community game, or an event I hosted, something like that. Forgive me for not remembering it. And he said, I've gotten 2K by practicing this strat. So this guy went up 400 elo by practicing this strategy. Essentially, he beat much better players and got very far, and then ended up matching up against me. And honestly, he made me work really hard. This was so much harder than the cast looked to actually execute and win this game. It was ridiculous. So props to this guy. Again, at the start of this, I really said, like, I really enjoy good strategy and a good storyline. And it freaked me out, the fact that I didn't know who he was, the fact that he was named Black Forest, and the fact that we matched up on Coastal Forest. I looked into him. He plays a lot of Nomad. I'm trying to get some games on him. But what I'm going to show you next is basically me trying it for the first time ever in a meta scenario, okay? So let's get into that next. Okay, actually, guys, before we do that, I just want to show you the resources collected. Obviously, the last 5 to 10 minutes, this game was not very close. But the fact that I was on the ropes so many times in this game, and I had more resources collected, it was generally speaking doing all the right things, shows you how potent it can be. Now let's show you that other game. All right, so here we are. And in this game, I'm on the right side. I'm in the red, okay? And I've gone for the Portuguese. Now, this is not a map I picked. It was a map my opponent picked. And my opponent is a Finnish player who's around 2,200. What you need to know about him is he very frequently picks maps, force picks civilizations, which is kind of rare for high-level players, around 2,200 elo. What does he pick? Well, he picks the Mongols, because Mongols are a great laming civilization, right? And Mongols would probably be my number 1 civilization pick on this map had I not played against Black Forest just a couple days prior. So here's Ant-Man. What's he do? Oh boy, Mongol hunt, Mongol scouting bonus, doesn't need to travel far, and this guy's going to steal my boar. And I was already thinking, like, I've got to bring my boars in, but didn't take him long, found my boar right away. And so I'm just like, well, let's do it for the content. Let's try and test this, see how it goes, right? So I bring in my boar pretty quickly. So I feel like the interesting thing, the beauty of how my game played out against Black Forest is I learned a lot of lessons in that. And I only learned lessons because I realized how good it was for him. And like the big thing for me was I knew I needed to go forward to try and look for this guy's boar. And then I knew that prioritizing the berries early was essential. So anyways, here I am. Now I'm doing what I can to try and deny this guy from taking his sheep. And he's going to lame me. I'm going to lame him. But I do the same thing that Black Forest did. So I'm learning from the best. I've got Loom, and I'm already forward on this guy's berries. The deer's generally in the middle. So here I go and send in the fill. Now, if you ever play Coastal Forest, by the way, it's probably a good idea, as he's going to bring in his next boar then, to always try and lame here. I mean, people aren't going to like it. Generally speaking, people don't like laming. But kind of like Socotra or any really close quarters map, you're kind of a fool if you don't do so. It just kind of comes with the territory. But this is what cracks me up. He sees the berries, and he's doing the same thing I'm doing. He's just like, I don't want to fight that. Because he's got boar underneath his TC, and he wants to be able to bring in the boars very efficiently. So yeah, he does not engage against this. And that's probably the most interesting thing about this whole strat, is just what on earth do you do when someone goes here? I think you have to contest it. I think you have to research Loom, and you have to fight it off, because they're taking your resources, and they're getting 2 resources with 1. But again, if you do that, it kind of slows down whatever your plan may be. So he sees it, and I was thinking maybe he will contest it. So here I am. Again, I'm just going to try and play it like Mr. Black Forest played it. And the expected thing from the Mongols is they up the feud late really fast and try and kill you. So now look at this guy, man. He's trying to push in my deer. It's like I lamed his deer, so now he's trying to push this one in. And I'm like, no. I don't even know. He attacks the gate. Things get awkward. His scout is weak. That's my deer. I'm going to kill it. Thank you very much. So isn't this something else? This guy's taking berries where I'm taking berries. I mean, I guess I'm taking berries where he's taking berries. I don't know which order you really describe that in. But okay, Mongol player lamed. Stole my boar. Fast hunt with the Mongols. Lots of scouting vision. He's on his way up. He can see I'm taking berries. What am I doing here? I will say that now upon watching this, something that Black Forest did a lot more than I did, I guess I'm going to fight, is he had like 8 on berries. And I've gone for the standard approach of 4. And yeah, I'm just like, those are my berries. I'm going to save those for later. I did not feel confident about this, especially when I saw my opponent's feudal age time. But there I go. Remember, no lumber camp until you already have taken your berries. And so I'm just trying to idle as much as possible, be as annoying as possible, and still taking his food. Let's look at resources collected. Resources collected. Opponent is ahead. To be expected. That rhymed. And I can't think of another word that rhymes with that. So, yeah, I'm expecting to be up against the Scout Rush. I'm expecting to maybe be up against a archer play of some sorts. There's a thing about me you need to know. I can do quick walls, but I can't do them with the consistency that everyone else can. I still, for some reason, don't lack confidence with it. Here I go to kill a villager. Watch this. Boop. Thought the villager would die. Nope. 1 HP villager runs away. And now I'm going to lose a vill. And now I could maybe even lose more. Just not a good start for me. Not a good start. Trying to do this Black Forest guy justice. So Blue did what I had done in my game, and he has milled the deer. Which is smart, right? Just get as much hunt as you can. Like there, I do the hard work of getting the palisades down, but I just forgot one. So now I've lost my scout. I've lost 2 villagers. Disaster opening for me. And this villager could also die as well. And I still haven't clicked up, guys, because I forgot. Because I'm not used to this. I forgot I needed the lumber camp. Normally, I already have a lumber camp. Not to mention I'm dealing with all of this. So Blue starts to make a tower. The bright side for me is that he doesn't actually have... Here I go. Can I quick wall against the spearman? Yes, I can. Boom. He didn't actually have the stable yet. So he just kind of tower rushed my berries. And he's trying to take my hunt. This is so bad. And I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit tilted. Because somehow... How did this even happen? I don't know. Okay, so he took out the palisade wall, right? And so he takes out the palisade wall. And now this villager that could have been quick walled in isn't. I've lost 3 eco due to this whole nonsense. I've wasted wood on the palisades. And I'm up against a good player, right? Like, this guy's used to the crazy stuff. But, you know, fortunately for us, he doesn't have a building yet. Like, he really needed that follow-up. And it's a bit tricky, but I think he really needed to go for an archer range and get some archers over to my base. But I don't know what to expect at this point. We are currently finishing what's left of that deer. And I'm like, well, I got to stick to the plan. There's no backing out of this now. He does still have his scout around. And now I can see through my vision he's got the stable. And to be fair to him, like, in the event, man, this is messy. Like, he's housed right now. Completely forgot to make a house. But the good news for me is that he didn't make the scouts right away. But I think had he made the stable initially, he wouldn't have had the food. Because he wasn't on the berries. Because, you know, the deer weren't all there. So this is just, I mean, if you don't know the Ant-Man, this is very Ant-Man stuff. It's very messy, very aggressive, very sloppy stuff. Always picks Civ. Always tries to lame. Always tries to go for some crazy shenanigans. Very entertaining player. Not the type of player that I always want to play against. Let's just put it that way. All right, so not able to ease my way there off 23 eco. Ay. 23 eco. I've lost every unit that moved out across the map, it seems. And I'm realizing all I want here, all I need is a castle. All right. I can't fish. Not going to do anything else. At this point, I know he's going scouts because I saw he had a full HP scout. So I think, okay. And then I saw his villagers. So, did I see his villagers, or did I just start making the tower? Oh, yep, I saw a villager, which is very important. And so I realized he would try and tower me, so I'm trying to take my stone. Because I need the stone here, because the castle is obviously the biggest thing. So anyways, economy for my opponent, looking better. He's got farms, I don't. He's got berries, I don't at this point. Well, actually, I do, excuse me. And I've invested so much wood into walling awkwardly towards the wood and the gold here. But anyways, he's going to drop his tower. Now, this game is already, feel like it's manageable from this position. But it's going to just get messier for me and messier for him as well. Because I want to garrison with these villas and then dive underneath his tower. I want to take this tower out. I need to take it, right? So, he's opted for villager production over, more scout production here. But his one scout's going to do enough. And I'm still just trying to take this tower out. And he's going to bring forward more villagers. So his thinking is deny the castle. If you deny the stone, like he's producing vills. I'm struggling to do that consistently, or at least will long term. This stone is the most important thing. So I only have 3 villagers in this tower, which kind of hurts. And I think I'm sending more into that for this reason. But he has distracted my tower fire with the scout, which was something that I realized a bit later on and got really frustrated by in the moment. Because I should be doing better here. And he's just going to YOLO more villagers. And this is the type of fear that the players who are up against Portuguese have. And he's sending even more. And, I don't have that many villagers going in my TC. But he's going to win the tower wars, the point. So now I'm like, crap. Okay. Total eco KD is 4-3. I actually somehow have less TC idle time than him. I'm trying to save that villager and I don't. Now it's 6-3 eco KD. And if you remember where Black Forest was at like, I think he was at 23 eco, but he was in Castle Age way faster. He was in Castle Age at 15-20. So his build was actually better. And they were able to kill the scout. And, I mean, Red's position is currently very different from the position I was in. He will have farms, but he won't have fish because of how he had to set up playing this. Does make sense, though, because Malians have the flexibility to be able to go for the fish. Mongols don't really have any bonuses for that. And he's just been like, I need to deny stone right now. So, I didn't want him to take stone either, because Mongols with Mangadize, not so good. And so, here I go. I'm going to drop a tower here. Not sure how I feel about this tower in hindsight. He does have a lot of vills here, though, and he is kind of underneath my TC as well. Again, this is a really messy game. I'm actually happy with this. The fact that he has so many villagers invested into this and not his economy is probably good for me. Yeah, now he doesn't actually have the stone to tower here, which is what I think he wanted to do. So I wonder if he's going to sell resources and buy the stone. Anyways, I'm out of here. I'm out of here, okay? Like, I'm not interested in staying here. Legend of Black Forest showed me exactly what I need to do in these scenarios. He chases me in towards the TC, and I'm just like, well, I don't know exactly how much he has, but if we're gonna do this, we gotta make it count. I'm such a wuss, though. I should have dropped it here, man. I was still scared because I had so many weak villagers, and because I was sending basically everything I had. I got 4 villagers on gold now. Are these villagers going to wood or gold? Gold, of course. I think here would have been way better. Blue's now like, what in the world is this? Why are Portuguese good on this map? Mongols make sense because of the laming and the hunt. And he's still got stone. But now he's got a castle on his face. Again, this castle position is really bad. But it is a castle that goes up. And now he's kind of forever feudal age. And that's basically the end of the story for this one. I didn't play this very clean. I feel as though this game was messy. And mistakes were made. But if you get into this position, here I am stealing his farms, and then I'm going to delete them. But, it just feels like if you get a castle drop, close quarters, at least with current organ guns, and a week or two they're going to be nerfed, so we'll see what happens. But it just feels like it's really hard to stop. And the thing about this map is, if you go for feudal age aggression, your castle age time is going to be very late. Because resources run out. So I feel like a faster castle age into a unit that only costs wood and gold. This could be Koreans, war wagons. This could be any civilization that has maybe a good archer unit is really strong. Did my opponent execute properly? No. Did I execute properly? No. But is it an example of, like, this is the only time I've ever tried this. It is an example of the strategy Black Forest showed to go up 400 or 500 elo. Does it work really well? Yeah. And, like, it also throws the opponent for a loop at the start of the game because you start to take their berries. Now, many of you guys might try and play this and do this. I don't know how much longer Coastal Forest is going to be in the map pool. In the event you try this or even have your own strategy for this, I'd love to see you use my Discord, discord.gg/team90official. Submit it in game submissions. Please make sure you read the rules, please, before you do so. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if you guys have faced up against any other strategies on this map. But I've obviously, have a smaller sample size, but after playing it and playing so poorly, and then also playing up against Black Forest, where there was such a big standard elo gap, I really feel like the strategy's strong. Because, like, I mean, geez, you're not even taking wood here for the most of the game, right? Like, I lost tons of villagers. It's just you get a castle down and it's over, it feels like. So, anyways, again, give me your thoughts. And so what I'm going to do, originally I was going to make a video about just Black Forest, but unfortunately, if someone plays more than like 2 or 3 games within a day or two, all the old games are no longer downloadable. It's very frustrating. This is not a subtle nod towards Microsoft to say, hey, maybe fix that. I imagine it's probably really expensive to have server space or whatever for everyone's recorded games, so I get that, but anyways, kind of bummer for me, guys, because I couldn't dive in and show you the other games of Black Forest. But this is not going to be the Legend of Black Forest video. I'm going to investigate the guy further. I've been trying to add players he's played up against on Steam. I've been trying to find people on Discord to get Rex. And when I have more data on the guy, I will absolutely show you more. We'll see if he gets a Legend video or what. But anyways, again, let me know what your thought was. We do a lot of Arabia. We do a lot of Arena. I thought this was pretty cool. I've been putting a little bit of extra work into the video side recently, so if it's appreciated, please leave a like. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you tomorrow. I have a video every day. Goodbye.